What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be reacting to episode 4 from the Dirt series. I've loved every single episode so far. I think episode 3 was my favorite out of each one I've seen so far. Looking forward to this one. I think it's got 5 episodes, so we are close to finishing this series now. Like I said, every episode keeps me guessing, so I do look forward to these reactions. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe. Over half of you that watch my videos still aren't subscribed. Just hit the bell, it takes 2 seconds, and if you'd like to become a member on this channel and receive exclusive perks, you can also do that by hitting the join button down below. Right, let's go.
40 times around tonight.
Oh, I'm excited.
And the winner takes home $175,000.
$175,000.
Kyle Larson,
on
his way to
have
Speedway from New Hampshire.
just a smidge of that.
Estimated time of arrival was set to be 5:10 p.m. So cutting things very close with a little earlier start here this evening. We showed you the video of the perhaps impending weather a little bit later on, so we're going to get things underway here in just a few moments.
Boy, gonna make it? It's gonna be close.
That's the thing, if you're doing so many races,
$175,000 on the line. Will Kyle Larson make it back in time for the 39th running of the King's Royal?
The lineups being tabulated now. Opening ceremonies will come up in just a few moments.
This race will happen with or without Kyle Larson.
oh no. Hopefully he does make it.
24 best drivers in the country.
With not one, but 2
God,
feature
look at the
races
dirt
for the
just
drivers to
flying up
attack.
everywhere.
First up is the night before rerun, which Kyle Larson has withdrawn from due to NASCAR qualifying in New Hampshire. For now, it's time for Tyler Courtney to secure a good starting position in his night before heat race.
Jared Pittman, your first heat race winner. Second goes to Tyler Courtney. Giovanni Solzi third. Logan Wagner
Oh, I
fourth.
got
And
second.
Sheldon Hodgson
Okay.
the 5th and final transfer spot.
I'm guessing that means he qualifies, right?
Yeah, it's just the straightaway slick, and and it's slick into one. He went to North New Hampshire.
He said he has a competition meeting at like 2.
I'm sure they'll let him out of it.
Oh no, will he make it?
I never would have thought that I was going to be in the Cup Series. Like, I thought this was like a process. And I didn't really know if I was ready to go Cup racing yet, but I mean, I had this confidence in me that I could do it. If your team owner sees the potential,
Love that. I didn't know if I was ready to do
just
that.
go figure it out.
Look at him now.
Kyle Larson with a blinding restart.
The California Kid, Kyle Larson. He, Chip Ganassi, and Chevrolet are going to victory lane in Fontana.
You know, we were the best, if not the second best team all year long. We won 4 races that year. I finished second like 8 or 9 times, something crazy like that.
There is no second
No
place
way.
here. Kyle Larson will win his 3rd time in a row here in Michigan.
We were a small team with way less resources than any of the teams we were competing against, and we were outrunning all of them. So, like, the
That's
years
incredible.
Like that, you know, made me super proud.
Larson wins at the
Yeah,
Monster
as you should be.
The biggest win of your career, maybe, Kyle?
$1 million earlier this year was pretty nice.
I think until you win, you never really know like how long you're gonna be able to last in the Cup Series. So yeah, I think it was definitely a relief knowing that, like, okay, I can do it. I can put a full race together. Now I'm going to be here for a while.
That's got goosebumps. 2020. I was gonna say what happened in 2020, but that's a story for another time.
We have breaking news now in the world of NASCAR. Kyle Larson is at the top of sports headlines today after an iRacing event last night.
Kyle Larson is suspended indefinitely after using a racial slur on a Twitch
Oh,
live stream.
I think I've seen a couple of you say
by Chip Ganassi
mention this.
His language has shocked the NASCAR community.
Kyle Larson has been fired.
Kyle Larson was fired.
Kyle Larson's out of Chip Ganassi Racing.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. Last night I made a mistake and said the word that should never, ever be said. There's no excuse for that. I wasn't raised that way. It's just an awful thing to say.
I don't know what it is, but people doing apology videos.
My friends,
I can't do it.
My partners, the NASCAR community, and especially the African American community. I understand the damage is probably unrepairable, and I own up to that. But I just want
especially
to let
like sometimes you can tell
how sorry I am.
They're
And,
only apologizing
I hope everybody is staying
because
safe
they've
during
been
these crazy
cancelled.
times. Thank you.
I'm not saying this is him. Like
Yeah,
he could
2020 was
genuinely mean that, but
a year.
A lot of the time you can tell
Yeah,
when
we had
someone's just
COVID
doing
going
it
on and
because they've been cancelled.
Online races.
They don't actually mean it.
And I had, made a mistake, said a racial slur, and everything happened overnight.
Sponsors started dropping out, which left Ganassi with no choice but to fire Larson.
Everything happened with me, and obviously embarrassed with the mistake that I made, and lost everything in NASCAR that I had worked so hard for. You don't know where your life's gonna go from then on. Kind of went into the mode of repairing that and learning and trying to grow from it. I got to link together with a diversity coach, Doug Harris.
Why should anyone believe that there's been a significant and real change in your heart?
I feel like I've definitely grown more in these last 6 months than I have in the 28 years I've been alive.
I feel like a lot of people
work really hard
grew
within the
COVID
community
though, like,
to understand better and to be better and to represent even more people in this sport.
Just really giving myself
it looks like he's really like
on life and what
gone
other
out of his
people go
way to
through
make a change though.
was
this is
really
the first time I'm
important,
seeing it.
because
So
I think with racing,
what I said was extremely hurtful, and I would fully understand if I was never allowed to race another NASCAR race again.
I agree that like people should take accountability because what he did was wrong.
27 cars
but
set to go
what I don't agree with is like years people will hold that nugget years on, especially if that person is like trying to make a change. Okay, I get it if the person is an absolute dickhead and doesn't want to change. Sure. But when people try and make the change and then you still hold it against them like 10 years on,
time for the night before.
that's something I don't agree with. Because you want people to take accountability and change, but then you're not allowing them to change because you continue to cancel them years on. Like, there's no middle ground there. He's got this. Me just deeping that in my head, I'm like, come on. I have faith.
I think I was able to clear Hunter here for 5th, and at this point I was almost just gonna be happy just running 5th, take my top 5 and get a couple hour break and start over again. Unfortunately, I did not just stay content with 5th and kept trying to run harder.
Oh, is he about to make a mistake? I spoke too soon.
Tyler Courtney slowing on the backstretch, turning into the infield of the 7B.
Oh no.
Green flag conditions.
With this one mistake, Tyler Courtney is officially out of the night before feature.
Tyler Courtney came to me as a 13, 14-year-old kid and wanted to be a professional race car driver. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, we're putting together this midget team. You want to come work for the summer? I need somebody like you. I can't afford to pay you. I'll take care of your expenses.
They didn't let me do a whole lot. I stuck to the jobs that they gave me, and I made sure I did a really good job at them. We got to the Kokomo Clash, which is in October. They let me drive the car that we won the Belleville Midget Nationals with, and I made it all of a half a lap and flipped it over and destroyed it. And I didn't think I'd ever get to drive you know, a midget or sprint car again.
We're rolling into the shop about 5:30, 6 in the morning, and I tell Brian, I'm like, we'll never see Tyler Courtney again. And as we pulled in, there's Tyler Courtney sitting on the step out in front of the shop.
Felt like if I could tear the car up, I can, you know, damn sure, you know, help fix it.
And it was really in that moment that I
Love
knew
that.
all I needed to know about Tyler Courtney. He had that love for it like Brian had. After losing Brian, when we decided we were going to start CMR, I remember going home and telling Di, my wife, you know, this dumb idea that we were probably going to try to continue if she was okay with it. And the only thing she asked was that we consider Sunshine as a driver.
Oh.
So this is called Smart Racing.
I'm gonna cry.
This is kind of our office area / trophy room. I knew the role I was stepping into was gonna be tough. I'm never gonna be Brian, and I don't ever want to be Brian. I want to be Tyler Courtney, but I do want to embrace the things that he stood for and, you know, how he went about doing things.
He was going through it as well, the grief and everything, because he had just lost one of his best friends, if not somebody he considered a brother. And he wears it to this day. Sorry. The responsibility that comes with it.
You know, I'm never gonna fill that hole that they have in their hearts, right? But I try my hardest to help heal it.
I think they've all
just
done
I'm getting
a
so
really
emotional.
good job of carrying on Brian's legacy. I think Tyler is a very similar race car driver to Brian. You know, there's not many people that can jump into any type of car and be competitive and win big races in all different cars and series against the best drivers, and Tyler and Brian could do that.
He's always compared to Brian. When he has a huge success, it's, well, what would Brian think? But yet, here he is, being Sunshine.
His family's been behind me, you know, since we started this team, and, you know, I try to make them as happy as I can too, and, you know, just represent Brian and embrace what he stood for, and also win races.
Yeah, once 2020 hit, we jumped on the road. Well, it started out a little bit of a disaster. We get about 3 hours down the road, headed to Knoxville, and our brand new Ford Raptor, it was in flames behind the motorhome. So that was trip one, but after that, it was smooth sailing. We got in a really good groove.
We still have a huge line of folks waiting to get in and waiting to get their tickets.
You know, coming from the downfall that we were in, I didn't know what to expect. I thought, all right, hopefully the fans still like us.
It was fun.
Did
You just
they?
got to bond, staying at KOA campgrounds or sleeping in Walmart parking lots.
Watching Kyle cook for the first time was, you know, great. And we did drive the motorhome together.
He likes driving it a lot. I get kicked out of the driver's seat quite a bit, which is great. That's fine with me. He can do his thing.
He's also a terrible
That's what he does.
driver on the road, by the way. Like the worst road driver. Kyle is the worst.
Can you go a little more?
Why? Because I'm guessing
He's gonna be mad that I said this, but this is a new car.
speeds
And
or
we had it for 2 weeks, and he hit a curb like 3 times
Oh,
already.
no, he's
Scratched the
just
wheel.
bad.
I'm like, come on, do you not know how to turn into a parking lot?
Early on, we had some good runs, but I wasn't like dominating.
I was thinking
Like, I
bad
had
because
to,
he's a
like,
racing
get
driver,
lucky
so you
to
just
win an
break the
all-star
speed
race.
limits. Nope.
But then we went
he's
to
just
Devil's
terrible.
Bowl.
First lap time for Larson is quick time for Kyle Larson. 13:826 for Young Money.
We were super fast and won.
The hat trick completed at Devil's Bowl, 3 straight for Kyle Larson.
I was like, wow, that was kind of surprising how good we were.
Make some noise for Young Money, Kyle Larson.
And then that kind of started the domination. Yeah, I've been so familiar with open wheel type cars where the late model, I feel like, you know, a rookie.
But let me
I
guess.
have no clue what I'm doing. They're
He won.
really confusing cars, and
He
the cars are so
dominated
tight,
that
and
as
they don't
well.
steer very good that it makes it really hard to get around the racetrack fast. That weekend, I had like a lot of expectations from other people.
There are people taking bets this weekend. Like, what is Kyle Larson going to do? Is he going to make the race? Is he going to get a top 5?
It was like a kind of like a late model sprint car, like who's better than who.
Kyle Larson will lead lap 1. Brandon Shepard second. Kyle Bronson third. Hudson O'Neal fourth. Great.
I put a lot of pressure on
Look
myself.
at those
and
cars.
I just felt a lot of pressure just from the late model fan base talking a little bit, saying that I wasn't going to do good.
I had zero expectations to go there and do good.
Oh, Port Royal.
It's getting good.
It's getting good. Here comes Brandon Shepard. Kyle Larson. Can he lead one more lap here tonight?
Shepard's there. He's only within 3 car lengths behind Larson.
Kyle Larson wins his first ever race in a dirt
No way. I shouldn't be surprised at this point.
I just don't think anyone thought he was capable of doing that.
I didn't think that I would go there and do that. That to me was right up there with like a similar accomplishment to the 4 Crown. And I was able to really cement myself as like a great all-around dirt racer.
The night before is complete, and all that's left of this 4-race event is the big show itself, the 39th Kings Royal, with a grand prize of $175,000 to win. But Kyle Larson is missing in action.
Oh, no.
Still in New Hampshire for NASCAR qualifying, the question on everyone's mind is if he'll make it back in time to race.
Is he gonna make it?
It is one of sprint car racing's biggest nights, and it takes place now starting a little bit early. We showed you the video of the perhaps impending weather a little bit later on, so we're going to get things underway here.
We got done qualifying. I got a text that they had moved everything up an hour because there was weather coming for later that night. Then I'm like freaking out that like, man, I don't think I'm gonna make it back in time.
Oh
We
no.
did a team debrief with all the drivers at Hendrick Motorsports, and as soon as that was done, we hauled butt to the airport there, got in the plane, and headed straight for Eldora.
I'm getting stressed.
Kyle Larson on his way to Eldora Speedway from New Hampshire, cutting things very close with a little earlier start here this evening.
Obviously, they're not going to hold up their show for one guy. They were still rolling as scheduled. The window got extremely tight. We landed
35
there, and I knew
minutes.
that we were going to have to rush, so I'm like, well, I'm driving. Hopefully you guys weren't trying to follow me on the way to the track. Yeah, I was going too fast. Rushing the track is definitely not uncommon for me. I like the drama a little bit.
Yeah, he's here now.
7 minutes to spare. That's unbelievable.
It all worked out. Perfect timing. Got to hot lap, got to get there in time for qualifying, and get to race in the Kings Royal.
Wow.
How did you qualify?
When it comes to qualifying, we just struggle really bad.
Bring on the
Days of
race.
Racing at Eldora, the crews have tuned the cars within an inch of their life. The drivers have studied every twist and turn of the track, and the fans are hungry to witness the crowning of a new king.
Kyle Larson and Logan Schuchart pace the field. Brock Zierfoss and Spencer Baston in row 2. Sam Hafertepe, James McFadden, Logan Wagner, TJ Stutson, Greg Wilson to the green flag.
Go.
Kyle Larson with the start leads the field into 1 and 2. Logan Schuchart to the inside.
Oh my.
Side by side. Schuchart and Larson racing for the lead out of turn number 4. They're still side by side.
They're so close.
As they cross the start-finish line. Logan Schuchart slides up the racetrack. He'll lead the field out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Logan Schuchart will win the 4th heat race. Second will go to Kyle Larson.
You got second, okay.
Carson Messina brings the field back to green flag conditions. Tyler Courtney down to the bottom, slides up the banking. Messina comes right back under him. Down the back straightaway, Messina reclaims the lead into turn 3.
Carson Messina slides up the racetrack. Tyler Courtney diamonds off the corner. What's it going to be into turn number 1?
Oh. I thought he was going to wreck.
Carson Macedo wins the 6th heat race. Tyler Courtney finishes second.
This anticipation is killing me. I have to know. Yeah, I'm ready. Come on.
We are set. Pace truck to the infield.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat, guys.
The Kings Royal is underway at Eldora Speedway.
I remember Tyler was really good. He drove by me, no problem.
It makes us all step up, at least myself. I know for sure when he shows up, if you can beat him right now, then you're beating him at his best.
10
Wow.
laps in, my car kind of took off. And I was able to start picking people off.
I thought you meant in a bad way then, like it flipped. I was like, what?
I really was able to go forward.
Kyle Larson slides up in front of Brian Brown.
This is giving me hope. Is he going to win it?
There for a moment, you know, I thought we were going to have a really good shot.
Oh.
That might be the winning move for Brent Marks.
What's going to
I
happen?
didn't realize Brent Marks was like checked out.
History made at Eldora in the 39th Kings Royal. Brent Marks, what a week! He wins $175,000. Donnie Shaw second, Carson Macedo third, Logan Schuart fourth, and Kyle Larson in fifth.
Oh, what a shame. And Tyler didn't get it either. 18th. What?
On a restart, I got pushed up in the fence, and so I just kind of rode around the last 10 laps. I never want to leave the spot that I'm in because I've worked so hard to get here, and I will continue to work my ass off to make sure I stay in this spot.
What a race, what a crowd, what an event.
We thank you all so very much for being a part of the action, not only tonight, but all week long. Good night, everyone, from Eldora.
With the
that's a
newly
pretty
crowned
shot,
King
though.
of Eldora, Kyle Larson and Tyler Courtney must move on and stay hungry for the next race. For Larson, that just happens to be in the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis. But there's
Oh,
someone he'll meet there
how
that
fitting.
might give him a run for his
With
money.
the Indy 500 coming
They
up.
built a dirt track in the infield of the speedway.
I was obviously trying to get back into NASCAR. And
Actually, I think when this goes out, it will be the day of the Indy 500. So.
Camera crew following me today.
He's the biggest character in racing.
That's what I had to do to beat him, and that's what I did to beat him.
Aggressive.
There's gonna be a wreck. Sure enough, there it is.
Watch out, I'm not gonna watch this race.
He is brutally honest.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. I did love that. I mean, every episode so far has been absolutely amazing. We've only got one left now, which is very exciting. Because, like I said, I have loved this series. It's definitely got me more into dirt racing. Because before this series, I had reacted to a few videos on dirt racing, but and said, oh, maybe it's something that I'd like to look into. And then a couple of you said I should react to this series. And now I really want to follow like a full season of like sprint car racing because it just looks really epic. I wish they did something like that over here in the UK. They don't, I don't think anyway. So it just means I'll have to make my way over to the States for another race. Me saying in every video, I'm like, I want to see IndyCar, I want to go see a NASCAR race, now I want to go see dirt racing. So yeah, I've also said I want to go see rally in Sweden. Oh. So yeah, there's lots of races that I want to attend in the future. Hopefully they do happen. I think next year, probably go either rally in Sweden, because that's actually quite cheap, like the actual tickets themselves, and that happens in like February. Or if you have been following my channel for a while now, you'll know that my favourite team in F1 is Ferrari, and it's like an ultimate dream of mine to go see the Monza Grand Prix in Italy. And it always happens like the weekend of my birthday or the weekend after my birthday. Next year it's the weekend after. And I'm going to be 21 next year, so maybe I'll have to get myself over to Monza for my 21st. Or to the States, because then I'll be able to drink in the States. I can do that here, not in the States. But yeah, that was a really good episode. I'm looking forward to the last one. So with that being said, if you have any other videos that you'd like me to react to, drop them in the comments. I'm working my way through everybody's suggestions at the moment. If you did want to check out any of my other socials, they are all linked down below. And if you want to become a member on this channel and receive exclusive perks, you can also do that by hitting the join button down below. But I hope you enjoyed today's reaction, and I will catch you next time for the next one. Bye!